Hi, it's Beanie here. Now today I want to share in this video how to use the wash line to gauge a strength or to guess a strength of a stocks. Alright, so let's take a look into this stock here I have, which is Tencent. So Tencent was doing very well after the peak of the COVID. Okay, so that's last year around March period. So this was Tencent last year around the March period. So let me just mark it down. Alright, you can see that this was the March period here. Alright, so let me just move this one to show you that it is the March period. So this was 2020, and then around here was the March. Remember that a lot of stocks had a huge drop, right? But what happened to Tencent here is that we don't really see any any wash line, any MAC wash line. Okay, so how is the MAC wash line being created? It means that there was a close below a previous low. Alright, so price must close below the previous low, but the implication here is that on the month-to-month, right, Tencent did not even have a close above the previous low. In fact, that the only line that we can draw out rather at that point of time was a green line here. So this was the green line that we can draw on the month-to-month. Alright, why is that so? Because then prior to the COVID, price had a close above the previous high. And in fact, that during the months of COVID, where many stocks plunged, right, the price of Tencent stayed above the green line. That means it did not result in a wash and rinse. Okay, so after this, we can see that Tencent moved up really very well, because from, let's say, the start of the new month, alright, price moved up as much as 100%, which means that if you bought somewhere around here, alright, and then hopefully to sell somewhere around the top, alright, then you have gotten a 100% return. Alright, that means that every $1 you have another $1 more. Alright, now in fact that if you consider the performance of Tencent, that was really fantastic. Alright, so what is it that we've learned from this lesson here is that whenever you have a period of correction where the majority of the stocks, right, or the market, they are correcting, all right, so then if a particular stock doesn't correct much, then it means that the internal strength is really strong. Okay, it must be market specific or sector specific. So for example, if generally the Hong Kong market, right, the HSI, the Hang Seng Index, is correcting, but then this is a component stocks and this stock did not correct much, then you know that the strength is a lot. Okay, so that's one of the things that we want to look out for. All right, then with this, then what can we learn? Okay, so let's take a look at another. All right, then let's take a look into Hang Seng Tech, which is an index that that consists of many of the tech stocks, the huge tech stock like Tencent, Meituan, Alibaba. All right, all the major e-commerce and the technology stocks are all here. Okay, now starting from the start of the year, we saw that the tech stocks are correcting indeed, right? In fact, for the HS Tech, it corrected by, from the high to the low, it corrected by about 47.5%. Okay, and what this means is that generally, as a basket of tech stocks that's inside, then this tech stock would likely to be correcting about 47%. Okay, now take a look at then the month close. Okay, so in fact that we saw that during the March this year, right, the month close had a close below the previous low, as well as below the two months ago low. Okay, and then we have another one more bearish month close here. So that was the month close in July, that price had a close below the previous low and as well as 2 months low. Okay, so therefore, if I were to imply this for most of the tech stocks in the Hang Seng Tech, then that would be a month close. Then the question would be, what happens if we find that there's a tech stock that doesn't have a bearish month close? Again, my video is for educational purpose. It is not to talk about any buy or sell or financial advice, but to let you know how you can use the wash line to look for a strong stocks, right, in a weak market. Okay, so let's take a look into JD. All right, so JD is listed both in the Hong Kong and as well as the US. And then for JD, in terms of the amount that it dropped, okay, so it also corrected by about 44%. Okay, so it corrected by 44%. Okay, which is almost similar to that of tech stocks in the Hong Kong HS Tech. Right now, if we take a look at what happened during March, it also had a bearish close. Okay, meaning that the month close also had a close below the previous low. But what happened during recently, where the most of the tech stock had another bearish close recently, is that we don't really see any month close below any of the low, while most of the other tech stock had. Okay, so take a look at this one here. It doesn't have any month close. It didn't. All right, now in fact that what it did is that it actually had a close, all right, above the quarter week high. Okay, so recently it had a close, all right, above the opening bar of the quarter. All right, now if you can see that in terms of the volume, all right, of this close above the first bar high, it's actually quite significant. Okay, so that's quite significant in terms of its close. Okay, now what is it that I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say that, let's say for example, you like to buy into a market that has corrected. Right, so the idea is those stocks that show strength in the falling market, they are likely to rebound faster. Okay, so how do you spot that stocks that has this strength here? Then one of the things that we do is that we ask ourselves, are we able to draw any MAC line? So while MAC line allow us to have a buy opportunity, because with MAC line we look for buy, but what happens when other stocks have a MAC line and then the other one doesn't have? Now it means that it is so strong that the bears are not willing to sell it any lower, so it doesn't generate into a bearish close. Now one of the things that I also want to mention is that JD is listed in the US exchange, so it'll be good to check the US price code as well. Let's check out JD listed in the US, JD.com. Alright, so same thing, right? The trend was that it has been going up, so that's a series of increase in price, and what we are looking at right now potentially is just a correction. Alright, I mean, if you were to look at the trend, it's pretty much still strong. Alright, in terms of the month close, it is the same as what we saw, isn't it? Alright, so with the Chinese quote, there isn't much difference. We had a bearish close, right, that led to the drop, but then for the rest of the month close, it doesn't have any close that's below any of the previous low. So we can't draw any MAC line here. So the only MAC line that we can draw is this one. Okay, so that's a MAC line. Now essentially what this means is that if price can again closed above this 89 or 90 region, that would even be more bullish. All right, but at this moment JD is it's showing a bit more bullishness than a strength than the other tech stocks that's in the HS Tech.